Now see, this is an important LAQ from the chapter sequences, that is alternate series theorem. Let us see what is the statement of this theorem. Let AN be the sequence of positive terms. If A1 greater than or equal to A2, greater than or equal to A3, greater than or equal to so on up to greater than or equal to AN, greater than or equal to AN plus 1, and limit of AN is 0, then the alternating series means you get alternate plus and minus. So alternating series sigma minus 1 whole power n minus 1 AN converges. Moreover, the partial sums Sn is equal to sigma k plus 1 to n minus 1 power k plus 1 ak satisfy mod s minus Sn less than or equal to An for all n. So this is the statement of alternate series theorem. That is, let An be the sequence of positive terms, and if A1 is greater than or equal to A2 is greater than or equal to A3, like that so on up to An, and that is greater than or equal to An plus 1, and you have that limit An is equal to 0, then the alternating series always converges. Moreover, partial sums satisfy this condition. That is mod s minus Sn less than or equal to An. Partial sums means when there is an alternating series, alternate plus and minus you get. So if you add all positive terms and if you add all negative terms, those are called as partial sums. That is, all positive terms when we add, we put a plus sign. All negative terms when we add and keep a minus sign. So both are partial sums of the whole sum. That is the meaning of partial sum. I hope you understand. Now let us start the proof. Let An represents the sequence of positive terms. As we have stated in the theorem also, that An is a sequence of positive terms. So let A1 greater than or equal to A2 greater than or equal to so on up to greater than or equal to An greater than or equal to An plus 1 and so on. And what other condition we gave in the statement? Limit An is equal to 0. So what is the series? Series is sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 whole power n minus 1 An. With this, you get an alternating series. Because if minus 1 whole power even number is there, you get a positive sign. If minus 1 whole power odd number is there, you get a negative sign. So based on the value of n, you get even and odd numbers, and accordingly you will get a plus and a minus. So alternate you will get plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus like that in the series. Now let us say Sn is equal to minus 1 whole power n minus 1 An. So this part we are taking it as Sn. Okay, that is Sn is equal to, now alternate plus minus as I told you, A1 minus A2 plus A3 minus A4 plus so on up to minus 1 whole power n minus 1 into An. Which means Sn plus 1 will be Sn plus minus 1 whole power n An plus 1. Let's say this is equation number 1. For this we are generalizing it. So if you are generalizing it, you get Sn plus 1 is equal to Sn plus minus 1 whole power n into An plus 1. After you get the first equation, let us substitute n is equal to 2n in the first equation. So you get s 2n plus 1 is equal to, now wherever you have n in first equation, we are replacing n with 2n. So s2n plus minus 1 whole power 2n, a2n plus 1. Now see here, minus 1 whole power 2n. 2n means 2 into any number. 2 into any number will give you an even number. So minus 1 whole power any even number is always positive. So how do we write this? S2n plus 1 is equal to S2n. This minus 1 whole power 2n will become positive because you have an even power. Plus A2n plus 1. This is equation number 2. Now let us substitute. We will substitute n is equal to 2n minus 1 in the same first equation. So you will get S2n is equal to S2n minus 1 plus minus 1 whole power 2n minus 1 A2n. Now tell me, minus 1 whole power 2n minus 1, will it be even or odd? It will be definitely odd because power 2n is even. So even minus 1 will always give you an odd number. So this is an odd. Now what do you get? S2n is equal to S2n minus 1. In the place of this, you get a minus. So we get minus A2n. This is equation number 3. Now substituting equation number 3 in equation number 2. So what do you get? S2n plus 1 is equal to S2n minus 1 minus A2n plus A2n plus 1. So did you understand what did I do here? In the place of this S2n, I replaced this. Understood? So we got equation number 4. Now from 2, 3 and 4, what do you get? From 2, 3 and 4, you will get S2n less than or equal to S2n plus 1. So S2n less than or equal to S2n plus 1. It is less than or equal to S2n minus 1. So that means S2n minus 1 is greater than or equal to S2n plus 1. That is S2n plus 1 is less than or equal to S2n minus 1. Now from equation number 3, what do you get? S2n is equal to A1 minus of A2 minus A3 minus so on up to minus of A2n minus 1 minus A2n less than A1. Why we are writing like this? Since AK is greater than or equal to AK plus 1. So therefore S2n, this is a sequence. Sequence S2n converges as it is bounded and increasing sequence. Now let limit S2n is equal to S. Now applying limit for equation number 2. So limit S2n plus 1 is equal to limit S2n plus limit A2n plus 1. So that is equal to limit S2n is S and limit A2n plus 1 is 0. So we get limit S2n plus 1 is equal to S. Now since limit S2n is equal to S and limit S2n plus 1 is equal to S, which implies limit Sn is equal to S. Therefore, the alternating series sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 whole power n minus 1 an converges. So as S2K is less than or equal to S, which is equal to S2K plus 1, which implies S2K plus 1 minus S, and S minus S2K are bounded. Bounded by which term? Bounded by S2K plus 1 minus S2K, which is equal to A2K plus 1 minus A2K. So for n even or odd, so whether n is even or odd, we get mod S minus Sn is less than or equal to An, hence the theorem.